saying.
Yeah. You can't be biased in this case.
I know.
It's the finals.
We're trying to be professional, so we can't be biased.
You can say, like obviously you hope
Hey, wait.
you are that you're gonna.
You just keep quiet for a sec.
AM Sideline Report, where you go to crew. Touchdowns and tackles, we give you the view. Huddle up, football fans, this show's for you. From the pregame hype to the final whistle, true.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to AM Sideline Report. I'm your co-host Marcus, and with me, as always,
Arnold.
Yay! So you guys might know it's been a while since we filmed the podcast. So this one might be a tad on the long side, but we're gonna try to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, we always make that promise, but
Yeah,
we'll try our best to turn it down.
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
Try to keep the menu discussions aside. But first, let's kick it off then already. First thing is a major change to our podcast is we changed the first segment from SAAFL to Gridiron South Africa.
Yeah, we started with that last week the last session. And I think it's a good format. I think we keep it. It keeps the particularly for the South African community and that's trying to get into what's happening around here. Everybody gets to kick off. Easy early on with the details and that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So we've been speaking about SAAFL, which is the South African American Football League here in South Africa, but there's a lot of other sports or other leagues that support under Gridiron South Africa.
Yeah, so
we decided to, seeing that we're going to be speaking about all of them, we're going to call this segment now Gridiron South Africa.
Yeah,
and
it'll encompass both all of the sort of various leagues as you mentioned, which includes the tackle football version, the flag football version, the youth league, that type of thing. So yeah.
So it's a bit of everything. So kicking off with some news. So a couple of episodes ago, we mentioned that there was a team selected called Cape to Cairo team that is going to Egypt to go play flag football under IFAF.
Well, it's in the IFAF sponsored. Well, okay, let me restart that. Sorry. So IFAF is holding IFAF is the International Federation of American Football. They're responsible for the sort of international, they're the governing body for the international American football sport. And so flag football definitely falls under their rules or under their guidance, or under their mandate. Yeah, their domain. Yeah, let's call it domain. And so the IFAF has a bunch of different, let's call it country leagues or various leagues. One of those leagues is it's the championships. So there's a European Championship, and then there is also the African Championship, which is the one that's coming up now that we've now sent a team to.
Yeah. Which will be taking place the 20th to the 21st of June.
Yeah, that's actually next weekend. So that's around the corner. It's literally a week away.
And it's super exciting.
Yeah.
But because there was a team selected, the SAAFL League, the tackle version of SAAFL, they kind of postponed their league, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
So we officially received dates of the next couple of games, which is awesome. When they're going to kick off a game, when they're going to start. So the 29th of June at Grizzlies will be the Vol Kings versus the Vol Knights, Battle Hawks versus Commandos, and Vol Kings versus the Harlequins.
Yeah, so just noting that the Vol Kings are playing 2 games that day. Look, to be honest, the Kings have they
can play 3 games. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, look, it's really, really. They are a really good team. I know we don't really talk about them a lot, but I think the reason why we don't talk about them a lot is mostly because they are the champions. Yeah, effectively. I mean, like if you watch the games that they played, they have have the spirit of American football down.
Yeah.
So they know their positions, they know their plays. They run like a actual units kind of thing, and so it's. I think we mostly talk about the other teams to kind of
boost them up
a little bit, but yeah. Probably we need to give a bit of recognition even on into the World Kings as well. So
the Kings are a very, very
dominant team. Yeah, and it shows.
It shows in SAAFL tackle, SAAFL flag, and YAPL as well.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at it, I think quite a significant number of the players that are going to Cairo to play in the African Championships are actually from the Volking. Yeah, so the quality of play is like, and the players and the coaching staff and everybody in that organization is actually on point. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're a brilliant team, brilliant unit.
So playing 2 games there would normally be like 2 games on the same day would normally be quite a
questionable thing.
Yeah, but. Given, I think the cut of where they're at versus where the other teams are, and not anything against the other teams. I mean, they are improving and such, but I think the Kings will still take both games either way. So it's
I wouldn't be surprised. But the reason why they're playing 2 games is because of when the team was announced. It was. They were supposed to play. I can't remember the date now, but it was also Battlehawks versus the Harlequins.
Yeah,
we spoke about the last episode where halftime was 18-18. Yeah, Harlequins came back. They were supposed to play the same day, but now because of that game was postponed. They're going to play that game now, the Knights versus the Harlequins, on the 29th of June.
Yeah, well, I mean,
but like we said, okay, cool. That the Kings, brilliant team. 2 games shouldn't affect them in any way. But the second game that day is against the Harlequins. And the Harlequins has given them a fight on multiple occasions.
Yeah, that's true.
So there is an opportunity for the Harlequins to actually take that game, coming in fresh, because then that's their first and only game that day.
Yeah, I suppose also it's the Kings against the Knights. I think the Knights have done pretty decently as well. The Knights are pretty well there.
Very believable.
Yeah, so depending on what time of the day they play and how long the rest is between the games and that type of thing, we could actually see some interesting play come out of. Maybe this is the first time the Vol Kings lose the game of the season.
Exactly. But last season as well, they were undefeated. Correctly. So it could be their first loss in the SAAFL League.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what happens in the 29th. Right?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Look. Personally, I don't think they're going to lose. It is just the way it is. I think they're just at that level. But we'll have to wait and see.
So you guys are in the Grizzlies area,
Pretoria, just for reference.
Yeah, go and check the guys out. The 29th of June. I'm pretty sure the first game will start at 10 o'clock because that's generally how it is. So go pull in, go check out the guys, and go enjoy 3 games of American football.
Yeah,
in South Africa. That's just going to be brilliant. It's going to be insane.
See what it's about.
Yeah. Then on the 24th of August will be the finals. There's a whole bunch of games, obviously, the last couple of games in between.
Yeah, but it's 2 week. It seems to be every 2 week interval. So it's the 13th of July is the follow on, and then the 27th of July after that, and then the 10th of August as well. So pretty much every 2 weeks in 2 week increments. Yeah. We will have follow on game, and then as you said,
24th of August. Location still to be confirmed. They haven't confirmed the location yet, but let's just, for shits and giggles, what we've seen so far going through the season, the first half, and guessing what's going to happen in the second half. Who do you think is going to be in the finals?
So I've got my obviously so if we take the power rankings as we've had them from the thing, I've kept mine pretty much exactly the same. It is is what it is.
Both Kings, Commanders, Knights,
Harlequins,
Battlehawks.
And honestly, I think Kings and Commanders, my number 1 and 2 ranking. That's going to be it.
So you think the final can be
Kings
versus
them.
Commanders? No, that's gonna be awesome. Mine is the Kings versus Harlequins.
Yeah.
I think the Harlequins is gonna be in the finals. Huh?
Okay.
With the Kings. The Kings is obviously gonna be in the final.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, exactly. But
I think the Harlequins will meet in there.
All right. Yeah. So we agree on the Kings that it's just the team that they play.
Commanders and Harlequins.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, look. I guess we can always revise that as we're going forward. I mean, there's still at least like a month and a half. 4 weeks of games, but starting from the 29th. So 29th of June. So there's about a month and a half to see how the scores work out, what the players look like, how things are progressing in the teams, and we can obviously we'll review them on
as it goes.
Yeah, as it goes, week by week, and let's see. But hopefully, yeah. So we'll maybe revise things as it goes. But I think from the standings right now, you're saying Harlequins, and say the Commanders, but yeah.
So from the 29th again, we will be covering the games again. So yeah, looking forward to that. That's gonna be awesome. But like we mentioned, the reason for the whole
delay of it, or the postponement of the games.
Yeah, I was trying to get that word. Because of that is, like we said, the Cape to Cairo.
Yeah, so this is the Gridiron South Africa team that was selected. They're heading to Cairo, Egypt, basically in a week's time. Actually, they'll be leaving in a few days. Yeah, so it'll be a handful of days now that they're departing. They still are looking for funding. We have actually had the Gridiron South Africa presence on I think it was ENCA news. There was some of the coaches are getting involved on various radio stations and things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the biggest thing is funding at the moment. Obviously, it's not a big sport in South Africa, and people don't seem to be too familiar with what's happening.
Yeah, but rugby, it's nothing.
Yeah, kind of thing. So there is definitely I think a shortfall of sorts in terms of the funding. So the team does have a GoFundMe campaign, and I think there is another campaign as well that they have launched. But yeah, if you can, guys, this is a big deal in terms of international sporting. This is part of the 2028 Olympic Games, flag football.
If this team does well enough, they will be.
Yeah, so there's the World Games that are happening next year, which also if this team does fairly well in the African Championships, they'll go through to the World Championships, and from there potentially onto the Olympic Games. So yeah, this is definitely a big thing. We could have a South African representative team in the Olympic Games playing flag football there. And I mean, if you look at some of the games that are actually played and the professionalism of some of those athletes that are playing internationally flag football, it's like it's a big sport. It's a big deal. Yeah. I think it's going to be rough, but we're participating in that. That's the thing.
Amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of excitement, but yeah, if you can try and help out the team, and let's get South Africa on the map as well.
Exactly. So the GoFundMe link will be in our description. So if you can support the boys, please go down, click the link in the description, and help the Cape to Cairo team get to Egypt and win.
Yeah,
and win, baby.
Something actually I do want to bring up as well is we were talking about the guys team, but something that I'd actually like to see potentially next year and the year after, and maybe grow a bit as well, is the ladies women's flag football team. Establishing one and actually bringing it up, because the ladies do actually play as well. So it's
there's a ladies league or teams or things like that in the UFL.
The youth. But yeah, bringing that up as well and bringing that to the international stage as well, because there are, I think, a lot of ladies that are able and capable and willing to play. But there's we just need to promote that and
boost them up as well.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of ladies teams now already playing for IFA as well.
Yes, yeah, no, it's a big thing,
a massive thing.
Yeah, the European Championships have a European flag football men's champion and a women's champion as well. So, and in the Olympics there will be a men's and a women's team as well. So, or two different leagues kind of thing. So yeah, and the sport is growing significantly amongst the ladies. So it's something that we and at least hope that in the future we can at least promote that as well. Yeah,
fingers crossed. Is hope ladies come and join us, man.
Yeah,
but cool. Okay, so that was some SAAFL and Cape to Cairo news. Moving over to some UFL news. So UFL, like we said, is the Youth American Flag Football League.
So I don't think we've talked about it much in the past.
We mentioned once or twice, but we haven't spoken too much about it, and we need to. We should be talking about them, because it's the, let's call it the cornerstone.
Yes,
starting from the ground level, moving up from UFL to SAAFL flag, or even just immediately to SAAFL tackle. But there was always only 5 teams. Okay, so it was the Battlehawks, the Bulls, Commandos, Lions, and the Harlequins. Yeah, this season that just started now, there was actually 2 new teams that joined, which is the Meerkats and the Spartans. Yeah, which is awesome. And just running through the games from recent, the Meerkats has actually been doing very well.
Okay, parents. So just to clarify as well, this is the under 17.
Under 17.
Yeah. So there are different divisions as well. There's the under 17 and there's a younger group as well.
I think 10 to 15.
Yeah. So I'm basically called under 15 and under 17 divisions. This is specifically the under 17, which is
that is correct. Yeah. So on the 24th of May, there was a couple of games for UFL under 17. So the Meerkats, new team, defeated Spartans, the other new team, 34-0. Yeah. Meerkats just came out of nowhere, straight out of the bat and just started swinging. They came out. And then there was the Spartans versus the Bulls. The Bulls beat the Spartans 8-0.
That must have actually been a pretty tight game, because
very, very tight game.
I mean, to only have
there's a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah,
that must have been saying the Spartans defense was probably
100%.
Then it was the Battlehawks versus the Commandos. Also very, very tight game. Battlehawks beating the Commandos 13-12. Yeah. Unfortunately, with the Battlehawks, when it comes to tackle, they struggle a bit, but it seems like they do pretty well when it comes to the UFL guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, flag football's the next big thing, right? So
they're coming out swinging as kids, man.
Mm-hmm.
Then it is the Lions versus the Meerkats, and that was a tight game at 6-6. Another very, very very tight game. Only 1 touchdown each, no conversions, nothing. Then it is the Harlequins versus the Spartans, and the Harlequins came out swinging 32-0 against the Spartans.
The Spartans are the new kids on the block, and
so you did a little bit of
But I mean, don't give up hope. That's that's where we everyone learn from it and come back stronger in the next game.
Yeah, 100%. Then it is the Lions versus the Commandos. Lions beating the Commandos 32-0. Unfortunately, the Commandos are not performing in the UFL league compared to
very well. Yeah.
Commandos versus the Meerkats. Meerkats wins again 14-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Meerkats they coming out.
Yeah,
they showing who they are, man. Battlehawks versus the Bulls. Battlehawks beating the Bulls 24-0. Harlequins versus the Meerkats. Harlequins is a good team, like we spoke about. Well, I think they're a very good team.
Yeah.
Especially in tackle. And the Meerkats beat them 19-12.
Okay, but remember, this is the
actual, yeah.
So, I mean, this is the let's say the grassroots into the future team. So, I mean, give the props. I mean, the kids are out there playing. The guys are out there doing their thing. But yeah, I'd like to see where the under 17s from this year or this league transition into the flag football teams and potentially the tackle teams sort of feed into that from next year and the year after.
Going forward, what they can do for the teams.
Yeah,
that'll be very interesting. And then the last game was the Battlehawks versus the Spartans. The Spartans came back a little bit, but the Battlehawks beat the Spartans 34-14.
Yeah, but you see, like there as well. I mean, like previously the Spartans had 0, there was 0-0, hadn't scored anything, and they came back stronger.
Yeah.
Learn from the previous games and actually put points on the board, and
14 points.
Yeah,
man. 2 touchdowns and conversions.
Yeah,
well done to the Spartans.
Nicely done.
Yeah. But moving over now to SAAFL, the flag version.
So this is adult flag now.
Yeah, adult flag. If you like to read, would you want me to continue?
And I can read them out. So, so we had 31 May was the game that was played, or games that were played. Can I start that over? You can.
Yeah, we'll cut from when I'm asking you. So yeah, just start saying, okay, moving on to flag.
Okay, so moving on to adult flag football. 31 May was the date. We had the Commanders versus the Harlequins. Harlequins taking up 36-0. So Commanders not performing there either, not putting any score on the board there, and then. Again, Commanders losing to the Jacks, 0-47.
Yeah, the Jacks is a hot team, though.
They are. It's just
they're also a new team starting here with the flag football SAAFL, and they are a hot team.
Yeah. I'd like to see what the Commanders actually are doing, in flag football terms. Would have thought they would have at least scored something. Come on, Commanders, you can do it. Guys, come on! Like
you support Commanders when it comes to the tackle.
I do, and I kind of enjoy the Commanders generally. So flag, come on, boys, come on, let's do it. But yeah, Harlequins then against the Kings. Kings taking that 52-20, and then again the Kings versus the Jacks. I think this was the big game that we had previously spoken about. Undefeated teams, 2 undefeated teams at that point. The Kings actually taking that 42-26.
If I remember correctly, I said the Kings are going to win. You said the Jacks is going to win. Yeah.
I went with the unknown, the unknown team,
and the Kings just showed who are the Kings when.
Yeah,
who's the bosses here?
I actually would have liked to have seen that game play out.
Yeah.
So we don't have any footage of that, unfortunately. So, but yeah, so that was the 31st of May, and then on the 7th of June, they had another weekend round. Another round of the league. So the Jacks and the Harlequins played. Jacks beating the Harlequins 28-22. So Harlequins and the took on the Commandos. That ended up in a tied game at 12-12. So Commandos actually coming back there. Thank you, my guys. Kings taking on the Jacks again. This time the Jacks defeating the Kings 2016.
So we have to see what happens in the third round.
Yeah.
If they play again.
This is a 1-1 kind of like, I've beaten you, you've beaten me, let's see how it goes.
A long time.
Yeah, like
maybe they play in the finals, you never know.
That's actually true, yeah. And then the last game on the 7th of June was the Commanders versus the Kings, and the Kings taking that 36. Yeah. So at this point, I think we have the current standings. at the Kings with 5 wins, 1 loss. Loss being to the Jacks.
Yeah.
The Jacks with 5 wins, 1 loss. The loss being to the Kings. And then Harlequins at 1 win, 4 losses, and Commanders at 0 wins, 5 losses.
Yeah.
So the current standing is basically Kings Jacks, I guess, tied for first at this point. Although I think the Kings would edge out the Jacks in a point diff. I'm not sure how the differential is worked out. But then, so yeah, probably tied for first, Kings and Jacks, sort of.
Yeah.
And then
It's just the point difference that puts Kings.
yeah,
If I remember correctly, seeing the standings, I think that Kings has 200 points for them. They scored 200 points.
okay, all right,
So that just pushes them to first place at the moment.
yeah. And then in the third place, Harlequins, and fourth, the Commanders.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, cool. So the finals, it'll be semifinals and finals that will be happening on the 14th of June. So let's do a little bit of predictions.
Mhm.
So one of the semifinals games is the Kings versus the Harlequins.
Yeah.
So I say the Kings will beat the Harlequins in that semifinal.
Yeah, I'd agree. I just
All that's it.
looking at how they
performed.
performed, yes, I think it's kind of a given.
Yeah.
Nothing against the Harlequins. It's just
Just the amount of points they put on the board
Yeah.
is ridiculous, man. Then the last game is the Stallions versus the Jacks. Okay, so the Stallions,
Yeah.
I believe they might be like last year's champions or something because they haven't played a single game. And they were, this season, and they immediately been put into the semifinals.
yeah. So it could just be a last season
Champion moving straight over.
Yeah.
So I assume that's what the case is. So that semifinals will be the Stallions versus the Jacks. And because we don't know much about the Stallions, I say the Jacks will take that game.
Yeah. Also, I mean, if the Stallions haven't played, I mean, you're kind of coming in fresh, new, what's the word I'm looking for?
That ill prepared, is that me?
Yeah, probably something along those lines. Look, maybe this is a surprise. I didn't watch any of the last year's games, or I don't know how things played out. But I mean, and maybe the Stallions have not done much, or they haven't played at all as a team up until the 14th as it's coming. But maybe they have. Maybe they just haven't participated in the league, but they've actually been training and stuff on the side. So potentially, yeah, it's who knows? It could go either way, I guess. But I'd like to say the Jacks there, just because they've been through the motions, they've been through the competition or the league as a week by week kind of thing, and so
I definitely agree with you saying the Jacks will take that. Yeah. So then both of our predictions for the finals would be the Kings versus the Jacks.
Yeah. So I take it the finals will happen the same day. Yeah.
Okay. Finals happen the same day. So we both say Kings versus Jacks, which is game 3. First one was Kings, second one Jacks. Who's going to win the third one? Who's going to win? I will probably say the Kings will take that.
Yeah, I'd like to say the Kings as well. I mean, I'd love for the Jacks to win. Not for any particular reason, just to shake things up a bit, kind of thing. Have
so the Kings doesn't win SAAFL tackle,
give the other boys a chance. The other guys a chance. Kind of thing.
The Kings are just fine, man.
I know. Yeah, they are. But yeah. So. But yeah, I'll agree with you.
The Kings
as well. Yeah.
So super excited. We'll see what happens, and we'll bring you that news in the next episode, because that is happening on the 14th of June.
Yeah.
As we're filming at the moment. So
that
we'll find that out, and we will let you guys know.
Yeah.
So moving over to some NFL news. You've got all the news for NFL, my friend. So tell the people.
But this is. I mean, again, there's been a bit of space between, or a bit of time between our last episode and this one. So generally, the news that I mentioned now is probably a little bit older. If you have been following NFL news, generally speaking, then you should already know this, and it's nothing new.
Yeah.
But yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, I mean, news has been a bit quiet. I'd say, like, if you know what's happening in the various teams and things, there are some interesting little developments, but it's nothing significant, and it's, I guess, more relevant to your specific team. So yeah, but so the major news coming out at this point in time, or that has come out, so for everybody that isn't aware, obviously the preseason for the NFL starts in August.
I think it's the first of August, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And so spring training, mini camps, some of them mandatory for the various teams, but all 32 teams have already started with mini camp training, and having the sort of newer and older veterans come in and that type of thing. So like the entire team is busy practicing at the moment.
I've been seeing a lot of clips on that on TikTok and things like that.
Yeah, so basically teams will be looking to cement their players. Players will be looking for spots on the team for debatable positions or positions that are still open.
Like Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Can play wide receiver and cornerback. So
yeah,
I probably trying to see. Because there was a clip I showed you, I think that was last week, of him actually playing cornerback.
Yeah.
In that clip. Oh, that was a beautiful catch though. Interception. It was stunning.
But it seems like this is becoming a theme, because I was actually looking at I remember reading something on Bo Melton from the Packers fan. So Bo Melton actually potentially moving over to cornerback from receiver.
Really?
Yeah. So and apparently has the skill and the ability to do that. So but he's not the only one. There's actually apparently a couple of other teams as well that are looking at the sort of two position dual player kind of vibe.
Wow.
So yeah, interesting. I mean, it's been around for years. Just obviously, it seems to be a more common thing that's happening now. But yeah, so spring training obviously starting or has started, and in saying that, we've also hit the post 1 June season. So 1 June or the post 1 June season basically has to do with teams and their salary caps and requirements, and how player contracts are various player contracts are structured, typically around the season, and also their off-season takes and that type of thing. So salary caps and team structures and salary things, or contracts and those types of things are kind of complicated, and there's a lot of information about it, and a lot of
it's deep.
Yeah, it's a deep rabbit hole that you can get into. We actually, it might be a good idea in a future episode to maybe potentially run through the simplified overview of how it looks. But anyways, short story version is that the teams can pretty much oftentimes have a significant savings on salary cap space by releasing a player after June the 1st, which is when the official season, or official year, kind of kicks off for a NFL franchise. So yeah, if they release a player after that date, they get to save on some funds versus releasing them before June the 1st. So this typically affects your veteran players that have high salaries and various additional bonuses and things like that. And so a couple of players that are actually in the space where they're kind of looking at being released and or in this movement position kind of thing.
In the hot seat.
Yeah, exactly. Is Kirk Cousins, quarterback, looking to be released from the Falcons. I believe it's both parties are wanting to push that through. It is questionable where Cousins is going to end up, because originally he was slated to, or he was looking at the Steelers. The Steelers were kind of interested. The Steelers desperately need a quarterback. So
who did they take?
Veteran. Yes. Yes. I will cover this now. So I have to figure out a way out to not say his name.
No, the thing is gonna come now.
Wait, it will come. It will come. But give me a second. Cousins isn't. Cousins' prospect at the Steelers has been closed. The Steelers have signed somebody else instead, and
Well, let's people know.
I'll get to it now. Wait. Okay, so another quarterback also affected by this is Will Levis from the Titans. I don't think there was any doubt that he was probably going to be released. It was a question of when rather than if. So Will Levis is actually potentially looking at going to the Bucks.
Okay.
I haven't had any update on that, so I don't know if that has actually gone through yet or not.
It has to be in the second string because they wouldn't.
Yeah, no,
they could go.
The Titans.
You said he's moving to the Bucks.
Oh yes, yeah. That's
He would be second string because they wouldn't let Baker go.
So he's going to be a bench warmer there, and then Tyreek Hill, actually from the Dolphins, is also affected, wide receiver. Hill, though, will likely restructure his contract and stay with the Dolphins, but
they won't go back to the Chiefs. The Chiefs don't need him anymore.
Yeah, that's also true. And then interestingly, from my side, from the Packers, for instance, Jair Alexander apparently has been in the offseason. Both parties have been publicly indicating that he might be going.
Mm-hmm. I believe the last time we spoke about this, you mentioned this.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. You said that his only option is to negotiate and stay.
Yeah, so he will likely stay with the Packers. It's based on whether they can agree to a restructured contract. So in other words, basically he'll make less money. It can lower his salary. But yeah, he will likely stay. I have a feeling it's probably because of injuries. He is a really great cornerback, but
prone,
very error prone, injury prone. Sorry. So I mean, he missed pretty much most of last season. I think at least half of the games he wasn't able to play because of injury, and I don't think anybody's looking for a
broken man.
Yeah. So injuries are always going to have an effect on players' negotiating abilities. So yeah, he may actually stay at the Packers. Yeah.
Cool.
But yes, so moving on to who actually the Steelers have signed. It's a 1-year contract deal at the moment with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, here we go. I said his name. That's the second time. So Aaron Rodgers counts twice. Yeah. It is a $13.6 million 1-year contract. So he will only be there a year. I guess there is a look at whether Rodgers will be able to end his career in a fairy tale moment.
Because he did announce that he's going to retire.
Yes.
But there was more of a, let's not look bad, I'm going to retire because the Jets are letting me go kind of thing.
Yeah. But I think he was looking to finish out his career on a high note. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was a very long night for him.
Yeah. Look, something that I do understand is that, I mean, the Steelers, Rodgers hates the media and, hates those types of, or like the public thing, public space. And going to the Steelers allows him to maybe fly under the radar quite a bit. And at the same time, I mean, look, the Steelers also signed DK Metcalf as well. So he's also very vocal. So maybe there's a bit of balance kind of in let's say focus on maybe other players a little bit, which allows him to just maybe do his thing kind of thing. And I mean, look, what's their coach Mike Tomlin?
I'm not sure now.
He's, I mean, his play style and strategy is I mean, pretty decent. Like he's really got a good thing going there. And Rodgers actually probably would do very well there.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what him and
Yeah.
Kate does together. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah. But yeah, other moving on to other news. Actually, last thing that I have a note on is Rodgers will be wearing the number 8 jersey apparently.
Oh, really?
At Steelers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah. Anyways, moving on. Like enough about Rodgers.
Ding, ding, ding.
The Balinese to Bali. No, that still counts as part of the that one. I have to now talk about it. That is, so I brought him up one more time. So it's only the second time. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But yeah, so Saquon Barkley from the Eagles, running back for the Eagles, his hurdle from last season. Yeah, you remember
that was a beast. That reverse hurdle was freaking fantastic.
So the play moments that he did that performed that hurdle, that is now the cover of the Madden 26 game. It's the game cover for,
because that was a beast, man. That was just incredible. So that's awesome for him.
Yeah. So if you're a fan of Madden, the next iteration of that, Madden 26, will have the
Saquon
Barkley as the on the cover.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. It was we still playing 22.
Yeah,
we're just still Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes.
Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, on the cover. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
They planning the next one.
And then final piece of news. So Derek Carr, quarterback for the Saints, chose to retire. Shami is SS. Yeah, like apparently he needed there was like a much needed surgery that he had to undergo, but it would have put him out for the entire 26 season. 2025 season. The team, during for recovery and getting getting healthy again and that type of thing. But he would have the Saints were happy to have him on the team still, for the 2025 season, and then obviously have him back at the end of that, depending on progress and that type of thing.
And possibly going to 2026.
Yeah, and he basically said, well, he doesn't play for the money. I mean, he's got the money, so he doesn't have to. He doesn't need, but in a selfless act kind of thing. He said, like, look, he doesn't want to sit on the bench for a base, collect a paycheck and not do anything. So yeah, he chose to retire.
Oh, wow, that's it.
Forego the surgery and not.
He could have rested for the season and then accept that paycheck, rest of the season, and come back 2026.
Yeah, I guess he could have, but I mean, if he was potentially looking at retiring anyway,
it was coming up soon.
Yeah, I mean, maybe 26 was going to be his last season, and so why go through the issue of surgery and then play a last season, potentially get more damaged.
Yeah,
things maybe, or maybe not recover in time, or get healthy and fit enough in time, and then have to step your game up like drastic amounts, maybe not perform, and then get released anyway. And so yeah, rather
there's a lot more complications.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense. Okay. No, that's fair.
But yeah, so that's kind of all the news. That's kind of basically it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So that's all the news then for NFL. So then let's move over to UFL. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Okay. So news for UFL. Arlington Renegades Seth Green is named nominee for 2025 UFL Sportsman of the Year.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
who's that Green?
Never heard of a Seth Green. So Seth Green joined the list of nominees for 2025 UFL Sportsman of the Year, along with Barry Wesley from Birmingham Stallions, Chris Rowland from DC Defenders, Leon O'Neal Jr. from Houston Roughnecks, Jalen Allen from Memphis Showboats, Ryan Nielsen from Michigan Panthers, Steven Stallions from San Antonio Brahmas, and Travis Feeney from St. Louis Battlehawks. Yeah. So that's the list of nominees for Sportsman of the Year, and Seth Green from Arnold Renegades just joined that list.
Nice.
Which is awesome for him. Cool. Curious to see who wins Sportsman of the Year.
Yeah,
I'm curious to actually see, because I haven't seen anything about it yet, like who's MVP, who's going to be 2025 MVP of the year and things.
Yeah, actually that's...
But maybe the next episode we can discuss it. We'll see if we can actually find any discussions about that.
Yeah, because, we haven't... they would have done they have the awards and everything as well. At least from what I remember from...
Yeah, they have.
So, yeah.
Especially that's coming up now soon because the finals is coming up.
Yeah.
So they have to have it soon. So, yeah, we'll do some investigating.
We'll do some coverage.
Do some research and do some coverage. Yeah. But speaking of coverage, moving on to some game coverage. So week 9.
Yeah. So this is going back now a little bit.
And like we said, we haven't filmed, unfortunately, for a good couple of weeks. So this is going back to week 9. So go for it, my friend.
Alrighty. So week 9, we had Battlehawks versus Brahmas. Battlehawks beating the Brahmas 39-13. I think we both said the Battlehawks.
Yeah, we both
take that.
So it's the Battlehawks. So.
Yeah, that
Brahmas wasn't really performing at that point.
Yeah, and I think the Battlehawks just had the edge over them anyway, like just in terms of caliber of player.
But this is also after the announcement of who's actually going to be in the conference.
Yeah, we actually had the top lists of conference, or the conference winners already, and who was going through to the postseason.
Yeah.
So I guess the additional input into this is that you might teams that are going through, and that was, for instance, the Battlehawks and the Defenders, and the Panthers and the Stallions. They potentially they didn't need to really come out and actually play at all, so they could have just rested players and that type of thing.
A lot of them came out with their B team, C team.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to play, but not to win.
Finish the season off and let the main players or primary team rest and recover and actually practice. And
from looking at that score, it seems like your main team came out 39-13.
Yeah,
your A team came out for that game.
Their minds have actually decided to run them anyway. Again, we didn't want a repeat of the NFL Lions.
Yeah.
Taking 2 weeks off and then
falling way too short in the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. So that was the Battlehawks and the Brahmas, and then we had the Renegades and the Showboats actually coming out. I think we both said the Renegade, yes, would take that, and they did. They beat the Showboats 30-12. Panthers versus the Stallions. So this was actually the conference
finals
pre-game game. Yeah, exactly.
The pre-ball to the
and so I think you had the Panthers and I had the Stallions, and the Stallions actually won that 26-22.
Yeah. They just beat, but Panthers must have came out with a weaker team. They wanted to rest the guys for the finals.
It could have. Yeah. I actually think at the time in that episode that we discussed the predictions for this, I think I said the Panthers are going to win it in the conference thing, but the Stallions are going to win it in the pregame.
You said Stallions are going to take this game,
yeah,
but the Panthers will win the championship.
Yeah, so.
And we'll get to that shortly.
Well, I guess we're going to discuss that soon. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. So still in week 9, we have Panthers. I already said the Panthers versus the Stallions. We also had the Defenders versus the Roughnecks. Roughnecks taking that 24-21.
It could not be their strong team because there's no way that also would beat them.
But if you watch that game, you can see it's definitely not their.
It wasn't their strongest team.
Yeah.
Definitely not. And we both said Defenders for that.
Yeah. But I would have thought that even the Defenders B team would have taken out the.
You did say that. You say even if it's their weaker team, they're still going to win.
I mean, it was close. It was 21-22. It was a 3-point difference.
Yeah. Or 21-24. Yeah.
Sorry, 21. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Okay. But we did discuss this a couple of episodes ago as well. There was a game, Roughnecks versus Stallions. And that first half, the Roughnecks just put the Stallions to shame. Like, the Stallions could not do anything. And I still said, going after that, I still said the Roughnecks plays, like they played against the Stallions that first half, so they'll win. And we could have had a strong team. I can't remember that it was week 9. But the Roughnecks just came out and performed there.
Yeah.
I remember watching, there was a game we watched together, and it wasn't Jordan Trammell.
No, it wasn't.
It was someone else that was playing.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. Yeah, it was that game.
Yeah.
They definitely did not bring their a team out there.
So the Roughnecks beating the Defenders.
Yeah.
So moving to week 10, St. Louis Battlehawks versus the DC Defenders, and the Battlehawks beating the Defenders 13-8. I said the Defenders was going to take that. Obviously, I'm going to back my team.
Yeah, I also backed my team at
And he did the
Battlehawks. And okay, look, again, this was a pretty cool game to the championships, which we'll get to again now. But yeah, I think B team versus B team kind of
your B team is apparently stronger than us.
Yeah.
Which is better than us.
Yeah.
The next game was the Houston Roughnecks versus the Michigan Panthers.
Just going back to that game though, was that not the game that was played in that heavy rain? Like the field was like super wet. Everybody was slipping everywhere.
Yeah,
and that was a
rough game.
Really rough game too. So I think it could have gone either way.
That was a terrible game because of that weather.
Yeah,
there was pools all over that field.
Yeah, and receivers trying to catch those. So there's like bubbles and
they were. Yeah, I didn't mention that. Yeah, I remember that. That was just insane. But moving over to the next game was the Houston Roughnecks versus Michigan Panthers. Roughnecks beating the Panthers 19-12. And again, Roughnecks beating a champion contender.
Yeah. Which I think it could have was possible, but again, Panthers coming out with their B team, they definitely would not have run their A team.
Yeah,
they're in the Netherlands weekend. Yeah, not a week 10.
But we both said the Panthers would take that, and unfortunately, it wasn't true. Then the third game was the Arlington Renegades versus San Antonio Brahmas. Renegades beating the Brahmas 23-6. And we both said Renegades on that one.
Yeah, I think this game was more a who's not
going to be lost.
Exactly. It's let's play for pride and final ranking kind of situation.
And Renegades came out to be proud. Huh?
Yeah,
they came out swinging. Last game, Birmingham Stallions versus Memphis Showboats. Stallions beating the Showboats 46-9.
Yeah, there wasn't even a game there.
Both said Stallions. That was,
yeah,
that was a hiding.
Yeah.
It's like, when you do something naughty and your mom does this, hey, on your knee. That was a proper hiding.
Yeah, that was. All right, so moving on to the conference finals, taking place on the 8th of June. It is 8th of June, right?
Yeah, it was the 8th of June.
We had the Panthers versus the Stallions, the conference championships. Panthers beating the Stallions 44-29.
You're doing some dramatic effect there.
I was trying.
Okay, I was like, wait, is he doing dramatic effect or did you get out to read?
Yeah. No. So the Panthers pretty much giving the Stallions kind of a bit of a hiding there.
Yeah.
The Stallions did remount let's say a run for
the money.
Yeah. Just a little bit too late there.
We will get into that when we speak about the Sideline Awards.
Yeah, but no spoilers. Like, no spoilers.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Close your ears.
Yeah.
Don't listen.
But yeah, and then the other game for the other conference, the Defenders versus the Battlehawks. So we just had that prequel game and now
I'm waiting for the announcement of who won that game.
Oh yeah, okay, but wait, how was it? So we had the prequel game in week 9.
Yeah. 13-8.
Yeah, the Battlehawks winning that. The Defenders in this case coming out and beating the Battlehawks 36-18. So, really, really good run by the defenders. That
was a great game.
It was a good game.
Jordan Tamu, the way he read that field, man, directing traffic, he was a beast in that field, man.
Yeah. Look, I will say, I think the Battlehawks having, well, pretty much didn't show up.
Yeah, I was going to say, no disrespect to you,
yeah,
but the Battlehawks did not show up for that game.
What was, who's the quarterback again for the,
Stallions.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, pretty much scoring two touchdowns, running them in. Yeah, like pretty much the only guy on the field probably trying to do something. Like everybody else just, meh.
But the defenders also sacked Max Duggan 5 times in that.
Yeah, but that's a failure on the
on the O-line.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had no protection,
no support.
Because you still say that one play is like, where's his right guard? Like,
yeah,
there was nothing there.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened, but they just didn't come out. The defense didn't even show up either. I mean, the Battlehawks had one of the top-rated defenses in the UFL for the current season, and
it did not.
They literally, the defenders ran over them like it was hard. Yeah,
I think the pressure just got to them. Being the championships or conference championship, conference finals. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, they just didn't show up. Man.
Yeah.
No one showed up for the game.
Yeah. Like I say, Duggan tried.
Yeah.
But he did what he could.
But you can't.
It's not a one-man game.
It's 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly not. Yeah, cool. So then obviously the UFL Championship finals would be the DC Defenders versus the Michigan Panthers. And I'll obviously say DC Defenders are going to take this.
Yeah, look,
I hope. Okay, as a DC Defender fan, will back my boys. But if I'm going to be unbiased, I think the Panthers is going to win.
Yeah, look, no disrespect or no offense to the defenders, but watching the Panthers in their game against the Stallions, personally, I just feel that the sort of the athleticism, it's not it. Like a lot of the teams go on like raw speed, raw power. Yeah. The Panthers came out and showed like that agility and athleticism kind of thing and just the ability to read the field.
Yes.
Receivers running with the ball. Oh no, wait, I've got blockers in front of me. Spin around, move around kind of thing, actually move backwards and then come out the other side and gain an extra 10, 15 yards kind of thing.
You lose that couple of yardages first, but you gain it on the other.
And to be able to know that you have that ability to do that, and not move back and get tackled. Just those types of plays, like switching things up, running out on the side. You wouldn't typically make certain plays like that, but they're exploring and they're pushing the boundaries for that. And so definitely, I think the Panthers will.
And there's something about Bryce Perkins that he's in that game against the Stallions. He was just pulling some crazy things out of his arse, man. And it showed on the scoreboard at the end of the day.
Yeah,
well, 44-29, I think. It was the final score. And Bryce Perkins he's a beast, man. Okay, so we are now to the UFL Championship that's happening the 14th of June. Okay, so let's just run through quickly our power rankings from week 10, just to see where our power rankings lined up with who's actually in the championship finals.
Yeah.
So my top 5, my power rankings for week 10 was Arlington Renegades at number 5, DC Defenders number 4, number 3 was Michigan Panthers, number 2 Birmingham Stallions, and number 1 the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Yeah, so basically your number 3 and number 4 kind of went through to the
finals.
Yeah, so
my top 2, the Battlehawks and the Stallions, they were in the conference championships, but
all 4 of your top teams were in the conference championships. You had Battlehawks, Stallions, Panthers, and the Panthers, right? So I mean they all went through.
But the top 2 just fell apart in the finals.
Yeah, so I mean, similarly, I also like my top 4 were also the same. I think I just had a different ranking order for them. So I had Stallions at number 1, number 2 Panthers. Battlehawks at number 3, Defenders at number 4, and Renegades at number 5. So my number 2 and number 4 went through. But interestingly enough, so if I look at it, I had my number 1 and number 2 were the Panthers and the Stallions, right?
The number one conference.
The number 1 fell away. Out of between the Battlehawks and the Defenders, that was number 3 and 4 was the Battlehawks, and then the Defenders. The higher ranking one fell away, and basically
your B2 was one.
Yeah, the second, the one lower down kind of ended up taking it. But basically number 2 and number 4 Defenders and Panthers. But I still think ranking wise, Panthers will take it unless my rankings is the
dude. I don't want to.
Had a bad juju in there.
I do not want to agree with you, but I do think the Panthers are going to win the final.
Okay, so what are you changing your vote?
No, I'm keeping DC Defenders because I'm going to back my team.
Okay,
I'm going to back them, but there's something. There's something sitting here, no? Something sitting here saying,
yeah, you can't be biased in this case.
I know
it's the finals.
We're trying to be professional, so we can't be biased.
You can say like obviously you hope.
Hey, wait.
You are that you're gonna.
You just keep quiet for a sec. If the roles were reversed and it was the Battlehawks versus the Panthers, you would be biased as well and back the Battlehawks. Don't deny it now.
No, having looked at the Panthers, honestly, I would
making my eye itch.
I would have said that I hope the Battlehawks win, and I would support them.
Yeah, that's something.
But the Panthers will like it. Let's put it this way: if you're putting money on it, right? If you were a betting person and you were putting money on who was going to win, who would you pick?
Probably the Panthers.
Yeah, my Panthers as well. Even if the Battlehawks. I
don't want to say it though.
Even if the Battlehawks were in the finals as well.
But then again, look at my luck. Okay, my luck sucks, bro. So if I put money on the Panthers, the Defenders are going to win. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put money on the Panthers.
But you win either way because technically the Defenders are your team.
Yeah. So then
you
either win, you try to lose money, or
exactly lose pride. You get the pride if it's not win, but yeah,
either or.
Yeah,
I'm winning. But okay, cool. So moving on to the Sideline Awards for UFL, the conference championships.
Yeah, we skipped the other weeks. We just did the.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't do 9 and 10. We're not going to do 9, 10, and championships at the moment. So we're just going to give Sideline Awards for the championships, conference championships. So MVP of the week, Toa Taua.
Yeah,
running back from the Panthers.
Yeah,
that dude just had an incredible game.
Yeah,
he rushed 88 yards, scoring 3 touchdowns, driving the Panthers to that 44-29 victory.
Yeah, no, he was a beast in that game.
It was very tight between him and Bryce Perkins.
Yeah.
I was looking, we were looking at, what is his name? I think Dion Coleman, I believe. Dion, I think it might have been Dion Coleman. Running back from the DC Defenders, and obviously Jordan Tuamo. But Toa Taua he was just a beast on the field.
Yeah, no,
probably 3 touchdowns in the conference championships, you have to give him MVP.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'd like to say the rest of the team set up those plays,
obviously.
But yeah, I mean, putting the points on the board kind of gets you the recognition, right?
Yeah.
So,
100%. Yeah, but that was just brilliant.
And then, coach of the week, Skip Holtz from the Stallions. It was a great look. The Stallions didn't win. Yeah, to be fair, but they did mount a surprising comeback or attempt at a comeback.
It was actually very good. Well, I think it was like 3 touchdowns back to back or something silly.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, the Stallions didn't have or they were too far behind, and I mean they were going up against strong Panthers. Strong, let's say the Panthers came out swinging, and you can't go that far down in terms of points and try and claw your way back.
Yeah.
They did.
They tried.
The Stallions tried, and they almost got there. Yeah. Almost succeeded.
If I remember correctly, it was like 34 something. I can't remember what their score was, but then the Stallions came back, touchdown.
Yeah.
And it became 34-29.
Yeah.
And we were like, whoa, what's going to... Is the Stallions going to come back and win?
Yeah, that would have been such a comeback game if if the Stallions had taken that.
They're putting some Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady moves, yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, they just couldn't quite make the cut. But I mean, just having that ability to, your team's down, they're facing an onslaught kind of thing, to motivate your team and punch the players in, that they were going to lead to a comeback and actually have the guys drive that comeback through. Didn't quite pan out, I think, but I mean, you have to give it to Holtz.
Yeah, he made some insane calls just to try to attempt to win that game.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, they were just too short.
Yeah,
because defense follow again, and Panthers just kept on scoring after that. Scored extra 10 points after that. Just putting them out of reach. But yeah, that was very, very well done from Skip. Yeah. Then moving on to game of the week. Okay, so obviously there's only 2 games.
Yeah.
Battle Hawks and Defenders, Panthers versus Stallions. So I'll give them an honorable mention. The Battle Hawks and Defenders.
But they're the only other game.
But that's why I'm giving them both a little something because.
But look, to be honest, and look, I'm a Battle Hawks supporter, but to be honest, I don't think that was a good game at all. They didn't show up.
But Defenders did.
Yeah, the Defenders came out swinging, and that was great. Like it was good, but then they
piece your ass.
They literally ran over the Battle Hawks
hard.
Exactly, and so to be honest,
that was actually so shocking in terms of how bad it was.
Yeah, and for a conference championship, like it was a regular season game kind of thing. Like okay, they didn't come out. All right,
the massive fumbles as well from the Battle Hawks.
Yeah, that was just that was unbelievable. That was
ridiculous.
Not for the caliber or the quality of player that you have in the UFL at that in that pro level kind of thing at the conference championship. You didn't make it. You didn't make it to the championship by playing like that.
Yeah. No,
so,
yeah. Anyway, someone's ranting. Someone's getting upset.
So there's no honorable mention for.
Okay, so no honorable mention of everything. I want to give an honorable mention to my DC Defenders, but
no, that's fine. I mean, you can mention the team, I guess, but as a but as game of the week, like it wasn't a game. There wasn't a game in the Battle Hawks Defenders game. The Defenders took that.
But that way I was alluding to. Because how well they played against the Battle Hawks.
Yeah.
Oh, again, they were playing against toddlers. It seemed like it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
sorry.
No. But it's true. I'm not gonna
trying to fumble.
So, at the end of the day, if you're looking at a game to watch as like a proper game of back and forth, like the struggle is real. You have to make the calls. It's on edge. Kind of thing.
The game of the week.
Panthers versus Stallions. There isn't even a question about it.
That was a very, very good game. Very exciting game.
Yeah.
It was just, the way they played both ends. Panthers performing, Stallions performing.
Yeah.
Panthers just shut down Stallions a bit too much.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Stallions couldn't make it. But what a game, man.
Mm.
If only week 9's game was that exciting. Goodness gracious. But this is now 2 A teams coming head to head.
Yeah.
Trying to get to the finals. And they put it all out on this field. And man, what a game.
Yeah.
That was just a stunning game. So definitely game of the week will go to the Panthers versus Stallions. No honorable mention to the DC Defense.
No, we don't mention the other game. There wasn't a game.
It's a problem child. But okay, cool. So, all right, that was Gridiron South Africa, NFL, and UFL. So moving on to some fun segments.
There we go.
As you know, we like to do a little fun segment
to wrap
things up, just for shits and giggles. So,
yes.
2 episodes ago, I asked you questions.
Yes.
Last episode, you asked me questions.
Yes.
And our whooped. You couldn't answer all my questions.
Yeah, that's also true. I mean, yeah.
I am champion. No, but I don't want to brag because then when you come with questions, you're gonna make it harder this time.
My guy, I'll bring many questions.
No, you're gonna make it harder this time. No, I'm scared now. No, I'm not bragging. No, I'm not bragging.
It's supposed to be fun though. It's fun and casual. Competition is fun.
Yeah. All right. Okay, cool. So we're into the questions I'm gonna ask you. Okay, these should be easy. It should be theoretically easy.
But you're under pressure, right? So
yeah.
I mean, keep in mind now you're asking me and under everybody and it's like,
yeah, we realize I can do better under pressure.
Yeah, I don't do this.
But can you name the 5 NFL teams that has a logo that is symmetrical? Meaning, if you cut the logo in half, it's the same on both sides.
No.
Can't you?
That's 5. That's not the question right there. You move on next one.
It's easy. Well, not even looking at the answers. I know what the answers are, but I can already just visually see 2 of them. So if you take a logo, cut it in half, they will be exactly the same on both.
Yeah. Bears will be one of them.
Correct. Bears is one.
It's going. Sorry, I'm trying to go down the list of teams, and it's one of those. Wait, hold on. So
the new Bears logo is the old one was a C. So that
the
current Bears.
Yeah. The actual Bear. Professor. All right, then. I'm just trying to think.
We mentioned one team earlier on. You spoke about these QB. Their QB, I should say.
I think QBs I spoke about earlier were the Steelers, and they don't have a symmetrical logo. And
I think you mentioned 3 QBs, didn't
you? Titans. Would Titans be? Yeah, it's a T with on the side. So Titans will be the other one.
Yeah. Because they have flames on the one side. So
that's what I was. Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's not just the. All right. So
it's an entire logo.
All right. So
things more like the Bears.
Yeah. I think I've only got one. I'm trying to think. Okay, Steelers wouldn't be there. The Jets. What is the Jets logo? No, it wouldn't be the Jets.
Well, if there's any text in it, they won't.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, it was the Jets, the Steelers. That's good. Also, okay, Titans, which obviously not there. Bucks don't have that's the flag, so no.
I can say one word that will help you with that one. Can we say the word?
No, not yet. Hold on, wait. Okay. All right, and
that's that one.
What is the Patriots logo?
That's that in face with the trail thing.
So not them. Okay, and I'm trying to go down the list. So
team.
It's Jets, Dolphins, Bulls, and Patriots in the one. That's your division.
The one to me seems symmetrical. It might be a little bit questionable, but it seems symmetrical to me.
So wait, so you're telling me you haven't even verified any of those things?
I'm looking at it, and the one to me looks like it is. So it can either be 4, but I think it's 5. Technically, I've had it's 5.
Right. Then we've got. I'm just trying to think. All the other teams. There's Eagles. Who's in that division? Wait, Jaguars is the sideline. The side Jaguar, right? It's not the front facing one. Okay. So not the Jaguars. The Texans is the it's not them because it's lopsided kind of thing.
The star on one side.
The Cowboys.
Cowboys is correct.
Cowboys will be the other one.
3 more.
Wow.
Do you want some divisions?
I don't know if it's going to help at this point because I'm kind of spacing on divisions at the moment. That's why I started jumping around, just like any team that I can think of. Like,
because I have the divisions and I can give you the teams in the division as well, just to help you out a bit.
Okay, let's start with just the division.
Just the division. Okay, one's in AFC South. We actually spoke about the AFC South earlier, and this was the actual team we could not remember. We were standing outside. Yeah, you mentioned AFC South. We're like, okay, wait, Texans, Titans, Jaguars. Who's the last one? This is the
because I didn't go look it up either. So it's
so that's AFC. One of the others is NFC South. So it's AFC and the NFC South, and the last one is NFC East.
The NFC East,
which you mentioned one of the teams. Eagles and Giants is in there.
Yeah, no, I just can't remember the other. The other teams, and that's man. This is pressure. It's like it starts spacing on. Wait, how many teams are there? What is the NFL? Who am I? What is what? Yeah. Oh no!
That's fine. We just screwed up the sets on you.
All right. I still haven't had a thought.
Yeah. So you got the Bears and the Cowboys.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start.
Okay. Do you want me to give you
the teams? Let's just give the teams. So as soon as you tell me them, I'm going to know that.
Okay. So I already said AFC. The one's AFC South, which has the Texans, Jaguars, and Titans in.
Yeah.
The other one is NFC South, which has Panthers, Bucks, and Falcons.
Panthers, Bucks, and Falcons. Are you not giving me the other team?
Obviously, I'm not going to give you the other team.
What? Like, I thought you were going to... I said you were going to read all four teams in the review.
Because the other team is the answer. You got to...
I know, but I thought you were going to give me all 4 teams and let me choose, like, any money more. I would find kind of... They're not actually...
then you wouldn't know.
Well, okay. The ones that's the first division you mentioned now.
It's not up there.
Yeah. I'm not going to remember because that's...
Well, I can give you... Because we give like conference as a hint, division as a hint, and then like a more obvious hint.
Okay.
So I can give you a more obvious hint.
All right.
So the AFC South one, it's a horse.
Okay. So...
Oh my shit.
No, because the first when you said horse, I was like, Broncos. Well, it's not the Broncos because it's like a side thing. And there's the Colts.
Colts, that's correct.
Yeah.
Wait, what is the Colts logo? It's the horseshoe.
Oh yeah, actually that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The next one, AFC South, which was the Panthers, Bucks, and Falcons. Can you think of the other team?
Panthers, Bucks,
and Falcons.
That was
one of my other hints was they had 2 amazing opening games last season.
Saints.
And my last hint was they came marching in. Same. Okay, cool. So then the last one, so you got the 4 now. The 5th one, NFC East with the Eagles and Giants. And obviously the Cowboys as well.
Yeah, I know.
I had to keep it only as 2 because I'm giving you both.
Yeah.
This is the one that's questionable. To me, it looks like it is.
Okay, look, I'll give up. Give me the team.
Well, I'll give you...
Okay, give me the team.
And one of the greatest rookie runs last season. Because they made it to the NFC Championship as a rookie.
Commanders.
They must have that W.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit questionable, but to me, it looks like it could be because of the W.
I think it's symmetrical.
Yeah.
So I think it was designed symmetrically, but... Yeah, well,
but it's like you got to
after all the hints and that. So yeah, okay.
So the last question is: can you name the 12 NFL teams that has red in their logos? There's quite a few. And let me delete all this. I can see.
Okay,
teams here.
I can name a couple.
Okay, bang them out.
Okay, Steelers.
Steelers would be correct if I'm correct. I'm trying to find Steelers here. Yes, Steelers is correct. Because I want to remove them because they're long, bro.
Yeah, I'm going down so I'm going for the least obvious ones first while they're in my head.
There's one is very, very least obvious, I should say.
Okay. All right. So it's Steelers. There's the Cardinals.
Correct. I was going to say the one we spoke about a lot last episode.
The Bucks.
Bucks is correct.
49ers.
49ers will be correct. Okay. We have that. Son of a biscuit. There we go.
All right. This is.
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. 12 minus 4.
I forgot the amount you said around.
Okay. All right. So who else?
Maybe we feel stupid in front of people, or just 12 and 4.
12.
I was busy deleting things.
All right. Who else is in? You said red. The only team I can literally think of at the moment, is the Seahawks, because the last time you meant like the answer in the last question was the Seahawks.
Yeah, because of the little
the little piece in the
they which one was it though? He's one. Similar situation.
Yeah,
just a little bit in the eye.
All right. Okay, it won't be the Vikings. The Colts, Cowboys, the Eagles. It won't be either. Titans.
Titans is correct.
Ding ding ding. Yeah, I got 5. I'm not even halfway. Like,
well, not yet. 6 is halfway.
Yeah. Okay, Commanders.
No, it's more of a brownish move. I'm going red.
My guy.
Commanders is more of a brown.
All right. Oh man, isn't that like a red? Okay. Fine. Just be like that.
Well, I can give it to you and make it 13, man.
No, it's all right.
I think it's more of a brown.
Okay. I kind of like the idea that it's red. But anyways, what's the red? But anyways, all right. There's a lot of blues in team logos. I said the 49ers already, right?
Yeah.
Cardinals?
You said that already?
I did.
Yeah. There is another 1, 2 birds.
Yeah.
One's got a very small bit in the eye, and the other one is basically stripes, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. The Falcons is one of the stripes. The other one's a little bit in the okay. Yeah.
Well, I can give you.
Okay, hold on. Texans
is correct.
All right. So where am I at now? How many have I got left?
2, 4, 5.
Oh boy, this is where it gets challenging. Interesting. No, wow. I swear I'm gonna print a list of NFL teams and their logos and just have it like plucked against the thing. And like I kind of reference you like squint at the list on the side like what in all right. You're not including Broncos, so that's more like that's the orange.
Oh shit, battery's getting low here.
What are the other? Okay, I mean, just to get the bird one at least. What are the other birds? There's, I actually asked you that question last episode as well. How many bird
teams are there?
Yeah, if you can name all the bird teams, and I can't remember any of them. I can.
Well, give you a somewhat big hint.
Okay,
it's your wife's favorite team.
Why keeps changing teams? There's the Chiefs as well. Kansas City Chiefs will be one of
Chiefs is one of them. Yes.
I just know that's the team we all like to hate. So
yeah,
my favorite team was like, nah, team I like to hate too. So, so my wife was with the Cowboys.
Yeah, and then she moved over to another team because of Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes, the Ravens.
The Ravens.
Does the Ravens have red in their logo?
In the red eye. In the eye.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
When I did this question, I looked every small piece of the logo to find which one they had.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
3 more. 1 AFC East. Well, 2 of them AFC East. That should help you already because you know who's in the AFC East.
I do.
Dolphins, Jets.
Oh, Patriots would be the other one. This was right there.
And there's another team there in the AFC East.
Hold on. Oh, Bulls.
Bulls is correct. Last team in the NFC East. Theirs is not very prominent. It's on the border of the letters. Ooh. 2 letters with a red outline is their logo.
Wow. That's...
Literally, their logo is 2 letters with an outline. Their letters are white, but the outline is the red. Big end. They beat us in the Super Bowl in 2008.
Don't tell me that. I don't remember what... they beat the Patriots. I know. But
One of the reasons why I like the Patriots is from that game.
Giants.
The Giants is correct, sir.
Oh boy, that was stressful.
Hey, you got all of you.
Can I ask you questions next time, please?
Give us a mission. You're going to come with some beast questions.
No, actually, you know what? I actually do have a question already prepared. And it's just one question.
Okay.
So I'll ask it to you now because, you know, whatever. So then, okay. So there's one team, and we've literally just mentioned it.
We mentioned a lot of things.
Yeah. Okay. That's. But anyways, there's a team that's played 4 consecutive Super Bowls but never won any.
The Buffalo Bulls.
Yeah. There you go.
From 91 to 94.
Yeah.
Remember we had a variation a couple of episodes ago. Yeah. Awesome, man. Well done. Good job, man.
Nice.
You got it. Alrighty. Well, yeah, we can get into start calling this a wrap thing. We can wrap it up. We've been talking for a while, so we do apologize. Yeah. Hopefully our cameras are still filming and recording.
Oh boy. Who knows?
But yeah, guys, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, participate.
Yeah.
And then your thoughts and comments down below.
And go and check out the GoFundMe campaign for the guys heading to
Cairo,
Egypt in the coming days.
Support us and support the boys, man.
Yeah, please. They need it.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cool. Guess that's it then. So guess we'll catch you next time.
From the sideline.
There we go.
Who you go to crew, touchdowns and tackles, we give you the view. Huddle up, football fans, this show's for you. From the pregame hype to the final whistle, true.